Hey, Jose Monkey, find me if you can.
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. You guys have probably heard me talk about why I make these videos. I do this to try to raise awareness about the dangers of sharing too much information online, but I also do it because I enjoy it. I like solving puzzles, and figuring out the locations from these videos is fun for me. But guys, that's not the whole story. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I have to do it, even when it isn't fun. Because occasionally I will look at a video and I will have two thoughts. First, I know that I know how to find it. And second, I know it's going to suck. And when I say it's going to suck, what I mean is that it's probably going to be really tedious, and I'm going to have to grind my way through it, and it's not going to be really fun or interesting for me. But knowing that I can find it and simply choosing not to is not really an option. So sometimes I just got to find it so I can move on to the next one. And that, of course, brings us to today's video. So what can we see? This person is standing on a bridge with very few clues. It's just a small road, and there's really not much to see here except trees. The person did have this to say, however.
Not a lot of clues out here. No license plates or stores, just a lot of free living. But if you don't take anything for granted and you keep searching for clues, I think you'll be able to figure out what parcel I'm at.
First, they mentioned not taking anything for granted, though the way they pronounce it sounds more like granite. And that could be a mistake. Some people swap those words in that phrase, but I think it was intentional. I think it is a reference to New Hampshire, the granite state. The second clue is that they mention me figuring out what parcel they are at. Now guys, I'm not really familiar with this parcel terminology, but looking at some New Hampshire geodata resources, it seems like maybe it's a term that's used more commonly in New Hampshire. Best I can tell you is it refers to a plot of land. We really only get one other clue in the video, and that's this sign here that says E2. I'll come back to that. Other than that, there really wasn't much to see, but I made note of some of the different trees that we see, and also this rather distinctive rust stain on the curb here. Okay, so the whole granite parcel thing was helpful to narrow my search to New Hampshire, but honestly, I didn't really see how that information was going to help me find this. I found a website that shows you a map of parcel boundaries in the state, but guys, there are tons of them, and I didn't really see how that was going to help. The sign that we see in the video is helpful, but maybe not as helpful as you might think. If you were thinking maybe this was a road number and that was going to help us find this right away, I am sorry to report that it is not. E2 is a bridge classification. It has to do with what kinds of vehicles are allowed to cross this bridge. I was able to find a list of bridges in New Hampshire with their classifications. Now, I could have just gone through all of the E2 bridges on that list, but that was going to be really tedious, especially because it was just a PDF document with no links in it. So if I wanted to do that, I was going to have to manually copy and paste all of those locations into a browser to go look for them. And I didn't really feel like doing that. So I kept digging and I found a page from the New Hampshire Department of Transportation, and that had links to bridge maps. One of those links was to a Google Earth file. And that was a little better because then at least I could pull up each of the bridges in Google Maps and very quickly check Street View and verify whether it was right place. But guys, it was still a lot of bridges. But it had to be in there somewhere, so without any other clues, I just started going through them. Fortunately, all of the E2 bridges were marked like this. At least I was hoping they were all marked like that. I didn't know if the data was entered consistently and if I could rely on that. But I just crossed my fingers and hoped for the best. And guys, I looked at many, many bridges, and it was boring. And some of them didn't even have Street View, so there wasn't anything to look at. I just had to hope it wasn't that one. The good news is it didn't take very long to rule out each bridge. I would double click on it, zoom in, look at the surroundings, and if it didn't match, I'd move on. So it really only took a handful of seconds to rule out each bridge. Guys, I will skip to the end and tell you that I eventually did find it, making it all worthwhile just so I could check this one off and say, and guys, that was it. You were here, on this bridge, in Candia, New Hampshire. You may be surprised to learn that it only took me 39 minutes to find this. Trust me, it felt like a lot longer. As it turns out, luck was on my side here, because the name of this place begins with a C, and the list was in alphabetical order by town. That means I'd only gotten through like 15% of the list when I found it. Anyway, I was able to confirm a couple of the views that we see in the video. I also found that helpful E2 sign, and just to be 100% sure that this is the right spot, I confirmed that there was a rust stain on the curb right where I expected to see it. Guys, I still don't understand the whole parcel thing. That one website showed me these wacky numbers, which maybe are like parcel IDs or something, but I don't know. For what it's worth, Google Maps showed me these two names, Deerfield Road parcel and New Boston Road parcel. Okay, it's time to check which previous location was closest to this one. This time it was in Season 1, Episode 229 in Concord, New Hampshire. That's about 16 miles or 25 kilometers away from this spot. Guys, just a heads up that you can find me over at this place if you didn't know that already. I know that up until now there hasn't really been a lot of stuff there, but I decided I'm going to start posting goofy pictures there. Like this picture of me doing Chad's laundry. Yeah, I do appreciate that though. You're welcome. Anyway, go check that out if you're into it, but just remember that I'm not going to be posting geolocation videos there. It's going to be for other stuff. And please don't tag me there and find me videos. I probably won't see them. If anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say "Find me, Jose Monkey" or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.